Okay, here we go. We're on G1. Heading down G1. We took this trail just last week, actually. Still trying to wake up. Yeah, hopefully the snakes aren't out yet. Although it's not that cool out. At least in the fall, they in the fall it's cool at night, so they don't get very active until the sun's up. Warms them up a little bit. I think the low last night was like 64. I remember one time I was at a park in Florida, like a beach park. Trying to think of the name of it. It's known for shark attacks. Like a big jetty that goes out. I forget the name of it. It's on the East Coast. It's south of Melbourne and Palm Bay. It's just due south of there. But anyway. I was at the park. I parked my rental car and kind of walking along the beach or whatever, and there's a sign that says, you know, nature walk or whatever. And so, I'm like, you know, it's hot as shit, hot and humid. You know, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, but it's still pretty hot. And so, it says nature, you know, trail. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll check that out, you know. So I'm walking down the nature trail, and I think they had just done some maintenance on it or something, because it was all torn up, like on the sides. It was kind of torn up, but it's not like this kind of vegetation. It's more like little mini palm trees everywhere, and you really, you know, it wasn't like grass, you know. I mean, you couldn't really discern what was in the brush. It was just like a lot of real tiny palm trees all torn up on both sides, and on the bottom, like where you were walking, it was kind of all torn up too. And so I was kind of not thinking about it. I'm just walking along, checking out the nature trail. I walked maybe 15, 20 minutes into it. I was the only one there. I was the only one in the parking lot. I mean, it was during the week. And, it wasn't a real tourist trap, so, there weren't a lot of tourists there. It was just me. So I'm kind of walking along this trail, and I'm thinking, geez, what happens if I come upon a, coral snake or a big rattlesnake, or maybe even an alligator, but I don't think that there were alligators there because it was salt water. But you never know. I think I was more worried about a big rattler. I thought, if a rattlesnake bites me out here, what are the chances of me getting back to the car? And it might have even been before pre-cell phone time. I mean, how the hell do you even find a hospital, It was out on the beach, so you'd have to probably find a bridge back to the mainland. So by that time you'd probably be dead. So needless to say, I turned around. Just here I'm worried about more like rock slides. So I got the hell out of there and turned around, went back to the car. And I remember another time, we were on the other side of the Florida. We were on the west coast, on a place called Caladesi Island. You had to take a boat ride to get there. I think they had like maybe 3 or 4 boat rides a day. And you got a pass, and they would only allow a certain number of people a day or at a time to be out there. So I don't know how many it was, maybe 30 or 40 people at a time. It's a beautiful island. The beaches were just gorgeous. Crystal clear water and shells, and it was a beautiful place. And but they had signs there, beware of rattlesnakes. I'm like, geez, man, how the hell did the rattlesnakes get out here? But I guess they did, and I suppose once they're out there, they probably didn't have any natural enemies or predators. So I remember getting my picture taken in front of that sign. I still have that picture. Beware of rattlesnakes. Something like that. Rattlesnakes on island, or so we just stuck to the beach anyway. It was a beautiful beach. Caladesi Island, it's just north of Clearwater Beach. You go to a park called Honeymoon Park or Honeymoon Beach Park, something like that. And from there you can park, and there's a dock there with a boat. You take the ferry. It's like a not a very big ferry. It's more like a boat. Holds maybe 10 or 15 people. Go over to Caladesi Island and hang out for the day. There's nothing out there. There's no, at least at the time, there were no concession stands or anything like that. It's more like a, unspoiled park. It's pretty nice. Who knows now? They probably got a subway out there. This would have probably been in the 1990s. But they had rattlesnakes out there. And I don't think you'd really want to be bitten by a rattlesnake out on that island. There was nothing there. Like I say, this is probably pre-cell phone time, so I'm not even sure. They probably had radios, maybe. Maybe they had like a walkie-talkie or something. But I was a lot younger back then. I think I just laughed it off, That's why I took a picture in front of the sign. What do you mean rattlesnakes? Meanwhile, there's probably a 6-footer right behind me. He's like, another tourist. They look for the pure white skin. Another thing in Florida, we'd go down for a week and we'd be as white as snow, right? So, like on a Saturday, Sunday, we'd be pure white, go out on the beach and get cooked like bacon. Even with sunblock on, we would get cooked because you're swimming and sweating and stuff. So first couple days and nights we'd just be roasted. Could barely even sleep in the bed because your back and your legs and everything were just sunburned. And then by like Tuesday or Wednesday, it was starting to fade a little bit. The pain. And by then you had a little bit of a tan going, so you could, hang out in the sun a little bit longer. And then by Thursday, Friday, you're pretty much fine, you weren't pure white anymore, and you could kind of hang out at the beach all day and go out in the waves and not really worry about getting roasted. And then like that next Saturday you'd be somewhat tanned, and you'd see the next batch of tourists coming in. They'd be pure white out on the beach. You'd see these families, mother and father and the kids. They'd be like, put your suntan lotion on. It was like the next batch of tourists. So I imagine that goes on probably all winter down there. people go to Florida to get away from the cold. Although I've been down there in the cold before. I've had to buy clothes down there where I just pack shorts and t-shirts and sitting at the tiki bar, freezing to death. It's before they put those heaters out, so they'd be out there freezing. They'd put the awnings down, to try to break the wind, but it would still be cold. So, I don't know where that goes. So I had to buy, a sweatshirt. I don't think I bought long pants, but bought a sweatshirt. This is pretty sloppy. It's basically to stay warm. Actually, I remember when it was. It was when there was a Kentucky Derby, so I'm not sure when the Kentucky Derby is. Is that in March? March or April? Because I remember there was a horse going for the Triple Crown. It was supposed to win. Supposed to win the Kentucky Derby, Preakness. I forget what the third one is. Actually, I don't think it won either. It was the favorite. It was a long time ago, but I think it was the favorite to win. Of course, everybody put their money on that, and I don't think it won. I think it's kind of fizzled out. Guess they didn't drug it enough. Trail 16 lets out right there. Another trail I can't go down. That's either a black or red trail. It's too rough for me. But I don't go down to Florida much anymore. I used to go, there used to be a flight from where I am. There was a cheap, actually there's still a cheap flight. It was like $44 or something one way. And it's cheaper than driving. So I would fly down on Allegiant like on a Friday and come back on a Monday or Tuesday. But it started getting expensive between the rental car and hotels, beer and food, and doing stuff. Started getting too expensive for me. It's trail 34 right there. This trail here, if you keep going, it goes all the way out to Route 116. and you cross 116, and then it goes to the north end of the park. So Highway 116 is 3.7 miles. Kind of nice they have these signposts all around. Alright, we're going to head back on G1.